Hello, and thank you for joining me. I wanted to share with you why this cabinet here is so special to me. And Muffy's with me. So back, years ago, my mom wanted a china cabinet for Mother's Day. So what my dad and I did is I was about 14, and so my dad and I had built her a cabinet. And so this is the cabinet here. So when so Mother's Day came along, and we surprised her with this cabinet. So when my parents passed away, I inherited this cabinet, and so for many years, so during the years that my mom had this cabinet, one time my dad had he had a few too many drinks, and I guess he fell against the cabinet and the glass broke. So then the cabinet didn't have glass for a little while, and he decided to replace the glass with plexiglass so that wouldn't happen again. And Mom wasn't really overly ecstatic about that idea, but it was okay. At least she knew it was never going to break again. So then when I inherited it, it still had the plexiglass in it. And it was like that for many years. And so that's just the way it was. So I moved into this apartment almost 3 years ago. And I decided that it needed to be upgraded a little bit. It's a lady's apartment. Let's bling this up. So I bought these little knobs. Get down, Muffy. And I was going to change all the knobs on here and just bling it up, upgrade it a little bit. So about, say, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I decided to buy these knobs, and I was going to put them on. So the one day I decided to just take the 4 knobs off the top and put these ones on, because there's, different threads on them. So I took the 4 knobs, the shelves were all empty. I had nothing around that would, be in the way. And so I had nothing on the shelf. My friend was over, and so I said, I'm going to put these on, and we're going to stand back and look at it and see what we think. So I took all the knobs off, the 4 knobs off the top. I put the 4 screws on the shelf, and the shelves were empty. I put the 4 knobs on the shelf with the screwdriver. So there was nothing on the shelf but the 4 knobs and the screwdriver and the screws that went with those knobs, because each one of these have like different threading, right? So I'll put these on, this little knob here, put it on just on the top 4, and we stood back of the room, and we looked at it, and I decided, it just doesn't do it. I gotta put the old knobs on. That was the original knobs, and I'm gonna put them back on. So here I am trying to put the knobs back on, but there was only on the shelf. Now there was 3 screws a screwdriver, or no, sorry, 4 screws, a screwdriver, and 3 knobs. So I'm thinking to myself, where the heck did that 4th knob go? I put it on the shelf, and my friend reassured me. He, said, yes, you put them on the shelf. I saw you, but all of a sudden, that knob was gone. There was only 3 knobs. I still, to this day, cannot find that knob. So I turned the place upside down for a long time. And then last year, on Mother's Day, I went to Woodstock to an antique place. And it's a big antique factory, old factory or something, where they made it into an antique store. So here I'm on the 2nd floor, and I'm walking along, and I'm, looking to the right, and something said in my head, told me to stop. I just walked past shelves with knobs. So I'm like, what the heck? Where is this coming from? Like, I wasn't thinking of the knob. So I turned to my left, and sure enough, there was a shelf, a bookcase type of unit with knobs on it, and all the knobs were face down. So I'm turning the knobs over as I'm looking on the shelf, and I'm thinking, Dad, is the knob here? Like, I'm thinking, like, is the knob here? Is this what you're trying to tell me? Or, like, what's going on, right? So, and then I looked down to the 3rd shelf, and the first knob I turned over was a knob very similar to the one from this cabinet. And I'm like, oh my God, like, holy smoke, right? So, $3, I'm buying it. If it's not the right knob, I'm only out $3, right? So all the way home, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if that is the exact knob, because, there's different die lot numbers. There's, very little variations and stuff. So I'm thinking, I don't know, is that the knob? So I get home, and I couldn't believe it. It's the knob, like die lot, everything. It is the exact same tones. And this is sort of like a copper dusty rose type color. My mom was really big on dusty rose. So it's sort of like a coppery dusty rose. And I'm like, oh my God. And so anyways, I started crying because I'm thinking, well, what were the odds of me finding this knob? That was the only one on the shelf that was like it. And so I put it on, and it happened to be Mother's Day last year. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's Dad's way of saying Happy Mother's Day to me. So this year, I took the plexiglass out, and I got 4 new glass panels. So the cabinet is in its original complete state, in its former glory. So that was my Mother's Day present to my mom. So everybody, I wish you all a happy Mother's Day. And yeah, I'm pretty proud that I got it all in one piece. I have up on top here, I don't know if you can see, I have all the angels that I collect, and Mom and Dad are up there. So, happy Mother's Day to everybody, and thank you for watching. I always appreciate your time, and hope you enjoyed your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.